Hi everyone, my name is Phillippa Carnemolla and I'm an Associate Professor in the School of Built Environment at the University of Technology, Sydney. My research focuses on how housing and the built environment shape the experience of care, particularly for older people and people with disability. And today I want to share insights from my research on how home modifications not only reduce the need for care, but also transform how care is delivered, making it safer for both carers and care recipients. We often think of care in terms of time, how many hours are needed, how much support a person requires. And this is certainly how I started to measure care in my research. But in speaking with people who had received home modifications as well, my research revealed that home modifications change care itself. They don't just lessen the need for care, they make it more safe, more dignified, and open up new ways of supporting people at home. So the aim of my research was to understand the relationship between the houses that we live in and the delivery and the receipt of care within them. I set up an experiment that measures care and health-related quality of life before and after government subsidised home modifications. And it relates in part to accessible features in the home, to level access, to a kind of very specific or tailored medical need, but there's also a powerful story to tell about overall independence and autonomy and community participation and relationships in the home that link directly to our built environment. So home modifications are structural changes to people's homes. They can be anywhere in the home, in the bathroom, at people's doorways and exits and entrances, in the kitchen, in the laundry. They essentially allow people to remain living as independently as possible and to support caregiving and safety, and they're prescribed typically by an occupational therapist. One of the key insights from my research was just how much home modifications reduce the need for care, and in my study of 157 Australian community care recipients, we found that home modifications led to a 42% reduction in overall care hours per week. That included informal and formal care. But when I separated that out into informal and formal, it resulted in a 46% reduction in informal, that's unpaid care provided by family and friends, care hours per week. And the second key finding really of my research was that home modifications transformed how care is provided. When people no longer need hands-on support for personal care, carers who are present can provide different types of help instead. And this created a shift in caregiving relationships, a moving away from physically demanding intimate care to more social and emotional and practical support. And the carers that I interviewed and surveyed reported that this improved dignity and independence for the person receiving care, and it also reduced the stress for those providing it. Another key insight is that home modifications make care safer for carers and for care recipients. And bathrooms are a key side of that risk for carers. Providing hands-on support in an inaccessible bathroom is physically dangerous and increases the risk of injuries and falls. And my research really highlights how very simple modifications can improve safety, reduce the risk of strain, can lower the risk of injuries for caregivers, and really make a case for investing in improving our housing. Investing in home modifications is also an investment in the independence and safe caregiving in the community. My research has a range of implications for policy and practice. I think the most obvious is, particularly as the Commonwealth Government is rolling out its incoming supported home program for aged care, so many higher levels of care are going to be provided and received in more houses across Australia. And so housing and the condition and the design and the modification of existing housing is going to play a significant role in whether or not our aged care sector is sustainable. And I'm currently looking at ongoing research that's expanding into how high levels of care are also delivered for people who may find themselves in insecure or temporary housing settings, people at risk or who are experiencing homelessness. This is another critical factor around policy and housing and aged care that we need to be investigating, with significant consequences for both carers and care recipients. So we need to address housing inaccessibility and condition in high care situations and understand those implications of location and housing type and living arrangement. So to sum up, really, home modifications significantly reduce care needs, but they don't only reduce care needs in the home. They transform how care is provided and how it's received. And they transform the experience of a caregiver and a person receiving care. And it's the features, the condition, the design that make that caregiving safer, can improve dignity and shift the role of carers in a positive way. So I'd like to propose that we better integrate our housing policy, our aged care policy, our disability support policy, with an understanding of the implications on healthcare budgets and quality of life and safety in home care, particularly for people receiving high levels of care in inaccessible homes. I'm excited to be exploring how housing and care systems intersect in a deeper way in a fellowship that's been funded by the Australia Research Council. So I'm very keen to hear the experiences of providing and receiving community aged care, and welcome anyone interested in participating to get in touch. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.